Welcome to the pre-show. We got a little louder on the background music today, playing with it a little bit, because I don't think it's overpowering me. Okay, we'll sit there for a second. Everything looks good. My CPUs are low. Again, last week I don't know what was happening. It was like fucking kicking at like 40 almost. All right, that's my phone. I'll be back. Hold on. Give you guys one of these. Okay, I'm back. How's everybody doing today? I'm just updating some mind pockets. It's gonna be a busy Saturday. Good lord. All right, let's hang out for a second. Like I have this. Hold on. I guess I should show you. All right, here's my old phone. I don't do a lot with this one. This one does a lot of the podcast stuff. So I had to replace this one because I was using so much of the space that with the couple of games that I play, how to get a new phone, right? So I got the new phone. So I keep this one still because it's easier for me to like create the shorts, the YouTube videos, and everything else. Boom, easier for this one. So I barely do anything with this phone anymore. But for whatever reason, out of nowhere, like the case is just like deteriorating. Like, like oh, it's like this is this is television, guys. Like you can't see it, but look, there it is. Look, you see that piece? Like, why did it start doing that? And then also, first phones. This is my show's turned into. Okay, so we have like your cases, right? And then they sometimes have the little flap that will cover the off button. Sometimes there's a little flap here that covers the chart. Water, like, because you have to open it and then close it, and then you open it to plug it in, right? Like it's good in theory, but opening and closing it too much, it just ends up breaking off. So, I mean, obviously this phone needs a new case, but these in theory fell off forever ago. Hey, if I were to put out a poll, can I put polls out now? Is that a thing now? Hold on. Shoot. We're gonna do a poll. Okay, because if we were to do Whimsy uh, phone cases, I don't know what phones you guys have, right? So I'm gonna try and do this without breaking anything because I don't like to type. I should, but okay, hold on. What? Oh, kind of phone do you have? And then we're just gonna call it like Apple, because that's what I like. And then this one here will be I don't know about Android. Android. Nope. OID. Okay. Android. Start poll. Boom! I got a poll. We're gonna start doing that. How to make it on my screen? How to make it go smaller? Okay, there. We're gonna do polls until like nobody does them, and I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. Poll up every weekend, like I get like 4 people that. Oh, that's a horrible idea. Whimsy cases, like I mean, to be, there's a half a second we came up with the pop sockets, right? The ones that go here and they pop out. Um, I have covers to replace your pop socket cover if you wanted. You guys get 100%. Message me. I'll get you one. I don't mind. All right, let's see what's going on with this. What am I looking for? I need this button. This button. Let's see what the live sounds like. All right, that's not that bad. So I wonder on the pre-show, right? Is 10 minutes too long, right? Because we just had a bunch of people jump in and they jumped out. So they're like, well, they're not stimulated with, because like I still got 4 minutes before like the show happens. So do I shorten the pre-show? Do we like the pre-show? Do I just come on at noon and just like fucking here's the show? Because I don't mind it. I just like, because the part of the idea of the pre-show, right, was to kind of give people time in a reminder that says the show's about to start. So you're going to miss the first 10 minutes, but there's nothing happening in the first 10 minutes. If you're on YouTube, it gives you the countdown already, right? So like there's a double pre-show. Like there's YouTube says 10 minutes to show start, and then when the show starts, it's like 10 more minutes to show start. I should look into that. We are Monday, and I've already had a fairly productive day. I just talked to the AJ with Fan Fusion, and fantastic conversation. He will be on the show soon. I kind of like didn't force him, but threw it out there. He's a fascinating guy, so I'm curious to have him on. Went to Mom's. Yellowstone, like you got 1 more week of Yellowstone. They're playing 2 episodes, 2.5 hours long. It's like a movie. It's like a, which I'm fine with. Like there was a banger of an ending last week. Today's episode or last night's episode, okay, but they're setting up all the pieces for an amazing end. Is this my light in here? All right, I noticed the glare earlier. We got interview at 3. We have a regular show today. I've been really fucking cryptic the last like week and a half. Sorry about that. That there might have been a different Nooners. It would have been on location. It's the 3rd slide. So I'll fill you guys in. But we got a regular show. I was able to put something together. Nothing spectacular, but good enough. Had some revelations. I got like 4 mind pockets already for this week because of something I heard on the radio. It's an observation I've made for the last 3 weeks, I think. So you'll have to wait until Saturday for that. In theory, I'm doing mind pockets on Saturday, but we'll see. There's a chance that it changes. Hello, and welcome to Whimsy Live. It's Whimsy Nooners. It's the Monday show. If your first time, you're just catching this, you're just watching it. Um, it's Monday at noon, which conceptually is the worst time to do a live show, but not really because there is an audience for a noon Monday. Radio has some decent stuff in the morning. In the afternoon, you got all the afternoon talk shows. So there is an audience. We're keeping Whimsy Nooners. That's all I'm saying. Is not changing the date. I do like my. This is the idea from the very beginning of like I want a noon on Monday. It's like the only for sure thing I've ever wanted, and I got it. So I'm gonna stand behind it. But yeah, Nooners. Um, I'm gonna fill you in what I've been doing this week, professionally, personally, whatever else. What I'm watching on TV. My hand over here, TV. And then the last segment, I realized I have the wrong. It's not a rabbit hole, really, which should have been a different transition, but it happens. Um, but yeah, let's get the show started. You don't know me. Again, this is where we're going to get to find out what I've been doing this week. Let's see. Thanks. I don't like my hands. I don't like this hand. Oh man. Like if this was your first show, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? All right. Um, Thanksgiving was Thursday. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. Hang out with family, eat some cool food. Um, Somehow I need to figure out a way for you guys, like moving forward, right? You can put it in the chats, but the like I don't want the show to miss it. But I would be curious on what your guys's Thanksgivings looks like, right? So, um, all right, I give you guys like 4 minutes, and you guys can throw it in the chats because I'm going to talk for a second, right? I get up at noon, head over to mom's, right? Um, let the kids stay at their mothers um, for Thanksgiving. Let um, they both offer for me to come get the kids, but it's one of those holidays where the drive is a little much. Like they would spend more time in the car than they would actually be eating. So, um, we made a conscious decision to be like, let's just everybody. No one wants to be driving around for 2 hours on Thanksgiving before or after dinner. So, um, they're fantastic, Kelly, Katie. Um, so I go to mom's, and then Sandy was there first, which was super cool, and then we kind of hang out. Rhiannon's in town, so she made a bunch of appetizers, hors d'oeuvres. What is? Why do I? Are they the same thing? Like my first instinct was hors d'oeuvres, but then I was like, that's not the right word. Appetizers at the restaurant. I don't know. Like I was having a good day until like everything's just falling apart right now. Anyway, hang out. Everybody shows up. We eat. Um, Rhiannon likes to play games, so we played Skippo last week ago. So we got I brought Shut the Box. We played some dice game, like 10,001, I think, or 10,050. I don't know. Um, didn't seem too crazy hard. JJ picked it up like that. Um, I don't know. You just roll a bunch of fucking dice, and then you somehow you roll like a six, of five, and four ones, and somehow that's like 23,050. I don't know. I don't. Anyway, I don't even know what the name of that game is. 10,050, 10,001, 10,000. Might be 10,000. Somehow you got to get to 10,000. Yeah. So we're playing a bunch of games. Everybody's hanging out. We get some food. Fantastic. Turkey was good. We had some ham. Stuffing is my favorite. Um, I didn't get crazy. I only had one. Okay, to be fair, we get the big plates. But yeah, um, it was fun. We're just hanging out with everybody. We were there for like 5 hours. JJ updating everybody with Taekwondo, showing us his form, and then gave him a recorder. So here's where I ran into a small problem. Right, is I've been good about not recording everything. Right, like there are moments where I want to just be in the moment. Right, um, but I ended up just recruiting JJ because no one will think JJ is doing anything weird. So we got a new tradition, I think, now of I have the hand recorder, and now JJ walks around and asks everybody a couple of questions. Um, what's going to start? So what's going to happen? I think is I'm going to start recording more things, right? But not for the podcast and not for anybody in particular. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of like so Christmas, like there's a chance I have a hand recorder and I'm going to record like an hour's worth of stuff. And I take all these recordings, save them, and just throw them on a on a drive somewhere. Early on, I talk about like liking lost media or forgotten media, right? So what I want to do is I just want to create like a small vault of just forgotten media. So we're gonna have all these Christmases, birthdays, and these trips. We're just gonna like little recordings from all of them, and then just forget about them. And then I don't know, one of the kids, JJ, Liam, or Sophie, maybe the twins even, they wanted to like do something with them. They're there, but there is a chance that I'm just gonna record hours and hours of stuff. It's one of those things where, depending on your age, right? Dad or uncle or grandpa buys a new fucking camcorder, right? The big one that sits on your fucking shoulder, right? And he's videotaping everything, and he recorded everything. Like, so I don't know why I feel weird about walking around with a recorder, right? Because 30 years ago they were in your face, right? Um, all of those things were recorded and maybe watched once and then never again. So I'm going to start doing something very similar to that, where I'm just going to just hoard just hours of just random holiday stuff, gatherings. Um, I don't know what to do with them, but it goes back to the old Whimsy Kitschy Cam. I'm just going to record it and figure it out later. It might not even be my project, to be fair. Again, it could be like a Sophie project. Well, 15 years from now, she's been podcasting with me for a while. She's like, I like the audio's gotten easier to do whatever else. And she's like, I wanted to go through dad's lost media thing and does something. I don't know. I think that would be amazing, to be fair. Um, kids graduate in like 4 years. So like maybe I'd jump in there in 4 years and pull some clips and be like, hey, like uh, Monday's episode, the one that just dropped, JJ, right? So part of the idea is like that is we now have record of what a 10-year-old JJ sounds like, in which he's like, um, McDonald's hamburger plain as hell for life. Well, what happens in like 4 years when he's like, I love a different burger, and I'm gonna be like, you used to like the other one. He's like, no. Boom, I got the proof. Uh, okay, there was a game that they played. They found. I think Nikki brought it, called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. The highlight of the entire day. Like it goes Taco Cat Goat Pizza, and then like food, and then hanging out with everybody. So this game, look it up, get it, fun for all ages. It's basically like old Slapjack. Remember, like you deal out the cards, and then you keep flipping a card over, and then whenever Jack comes up, you have to slap the deck. Same concept, but now there's more pieces to it. Like you have to name the card before you turn it over. There are three animals in there. There's a narwhal, a gorilla, and a groundhog. And then once you see those are like special jacks, right? So once you see those, you have to like bang on the table like you're a groundhog. You got to do a monkey thing, and then you got to do a narwhal thing. Um, I've not talked to Rhiannon since. There's a chance this was her favorite game of the entire weekend. Uh, I've never seen so many people red in the face laughing. I did not play. I was observing, but it looked like a good time. Uh, so Thanksgiving was a good time. I enjoyed it. What else do we have this week? I forgot. Interesting. Okay, so somewhere in like the last like okay, everything kind of is centered ish around the end of September into like somehow Car Saga is universal, like universe wise, part of some of this, right? So personal life, like car problems, life's a mess. But then like whimsy wise, um, just building momentum. Like we're just doing more and more stuff, right? So we did uh TuesCon. We got the early okay that says we're going to be featured guests. We're going to go to Fan Fusion. Um, Whimsy Studios, like I got possibly two other podcasts I might start producing or trying to produce. Um, so that's happening. But then also around the same time, um, reached out to a lady who, Sid, Cindy, Cindy, not Sydney. Okay, with a C, not like Australia, Sydney. Cindy um, Whitman, Witteman. She owns CEO of Force Magazine. Somehow I got in contact with her. She's like, "Hey," and what eventually happened is uh, the December issue, which is that guy right there. Um, I didn't feel it was appropriate yet for me to be on the cover, right? Not yet, but you can find it on Amazon. It's a $20 magazine or a $2.99 Kindle version. But in the book, towards the back, there is a 2-page article about chasing the whimsy and what we've been doing and what we're doing moving forward. And I realized that this is in a laminated sheet, and depending on how the light hits it, you get, like to be fair, you're not going to read it from here anyway. But there is a 2-page. Hi, Grandma. Everybody has to get a wave. Anybody who jumps in gets a wave. Um, Force magazine, Amazon, $2.99. Um, in theory, I have a couple extra copies. Um, let's do that. If you guys are curious on no, screw you guys. Spend the $2.99. Read it. I'll put it out eventually, I suppose. Um, but like, I can't come back to her magazine and be like, do another article with me. Oh, by the way, I'm just giving it away for free. Um, she reach she likes to a lot of the other people, other stories in this said magazine, goal orientated, like achieving goal, success, um, family stuff. It's like it's a decent read. Um, so take a look at it. Ming Chen, uh, give a thumbs up. He thought it was super cool. I posted a picture similar to this. Um, but yeah, we now have um, we've been now published. We've had a featured article, whether it's a 2-page article in print in a real person's magazine, that could be found on magazine shelves and a digital copy online. So, uh, chasing the whimsy, man, we're just riding this momentum out. Um, it's obviously not the big, it's not fucking Time magazine, but she's a best-selling author on New York Times. I think she said her reach is roughly like it's somewhere just under 100,000 is her reach. I think she's like a 50, 60,000, um, sold each month. So you never know. I just need someone to read it and be like, I like the cut of this guy's jib. Um, and reach out and be like, we want to give you some money. I don't know why they're going to give me money, but they're going to figure it out. But yeah, I think that's just pretty cool for a magazine. Um, I did have somebody trying to look for one this weekend. I don't have the physical one because I had to wait for it to get delivered, um, which ironically will probably be like 1:15, like right after I end the show. Um, let me see. Hold on. Let's see what we got in here. Um, Father son journey into podcasting, the leap to podcasting, expanding the Whimsy universe. Like when you get into some of the Whimsy studio stuff, the future and its legacy. Like a year and a half in, I'm already looking at our legacy. And then in conclusion, the heart of chasing the whimsy. So, um, anybody, most of you hardcores, have probably heard some variation of this article across like 12 different episodes. But uh, I don't know. Someone's like, "Hey, you want to be in a magazine?" I said yes, and I did it. Huge thank you to Megan because she helped write this particular article. So, and Kelly. Kelly doesn't like to take a lot of credit. She likes to give it to Megan, but the two of them, Kelly and Megan, both um, did a once over on it, edited it a little bit. So um, I'm gonna reach back out in like 6 months. Oh, right before Fan Fusion, or just after Fan Fusion, like the success of Fan Fusion. Boom, we might see another one in July, um, which would be perfect for the end of year 2. I think if I need a mind pocket real quick. No, no. Okay. Um, so yeah, just I'm reaching out to more people. Um, everything in this article, I'm still actively pursuing. So, um, it's a nice, interesting little read. 1,200 words, 2,300 words. No, between 12 and 1,500. So those are available. Amazon, Force magazine. There's two different Force magazines, right? I think, but you want the one that looks like this logo. Stand by. Stand by. That's the logo you guys want. It's this font, and that's the cover of the December issue. And then, boom, back to normal. Okay. Uh, okay. For the like last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been very cryptic about all kinds of shit, like the car saga. Right? It is officially ended. Um, it's okay. My story with Nissan is officially done. It's over. Um, you guys have heard my opinions of them over the last 6 weeks. Finance is a huge piece of crap, but sales, Jamie, Tyler, uh, fantastic. I am fine. My relationship, I'm at a point now where I am happy with the way that it's resolved, and I am fine with them moving forward. Right. Um, I have had good experiences with them over the years. One bad sales experience or service experience, and then the sales experience was my first time with them. So I don't like finance. So the salespeople are good. The finance people fucking suck. So I don't know if that was necessarily part of the agreement that we had, but I'm not giving any particular names of anybody in finance. But part of the resolution is that cryptic piece. Um, we're gonna go cryptic one more time because tomorrow, okay, scheduling wise, I wasn't able to do it today. We were supposed to do the Nooners on location. Scheduling wise, couldn't work out. So tomorrow, we're gonna call it 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're gonna say I'm gonna do a live from my phone on location, in which I will be visiting said place and offering them a donation that was part of the resolution with Nissan. But there will be uh, a donation made um, to a fantastic cause. Um, they help out. Um, was it like 70 different families? 130 kids get helps 130 kids get gifts this year. So if you want to know more about where the money's going, how much money it was, what are some of my plans for Whimsy Give Back in the future, um, make sure you hit the notification button on YouTube so you get the alert tomorrow. We're going to plan for 10 o'clock. Um, I think that's safe enough for me to do what I want to do and then still get back to work on time. So tomorrow, 10 o'clock, it's only like a 10 or 15-minute update, but it will be the update to this. And this will officially end everything doing with the car saga. Um, I think it'll be interesting. Um, it'll go out live so that you'll find a copy of it if you can't make the live, but make sure you go back and at least go back and watch it sometime tomorrow. Um, good cause, um, and how this whole thing ended up, working out in their favor because a lot of it was for like a lot of it comes down to I spent 6 weeks complaining and bitching about this fucking car thing. Um, Nobody wanted to take accountability, so I kind of I don't want to say forced their hand, but I allowed them the opportunity to attempt to make it right. But I wanted whatever they did to make it right, pass it on to somebody else. So whatever my resolution was, I paid it forward, and that's what you guys will see tomorrow around 10 a.m. So, um, and then yeah. You'll see. Um, should be it, should be nice. We're catching up to the holidays, so Whimsy wants to give it back a little bit. That's what we want to do. So I'm going to invite you guys to see me hand off the check. I believe the lady said she would talk to me for a couple of minutes so that we can find out um, a little bit more about where the money is going to, how it's going to work, what they do throughout the year to continue to help some of these lower income families. So come hang out tomorrow, 10 o'clock ish, for like half hour. Let's find out what we can do to kind of help out where we can, and put this finally put this thing to bed. Depending on that conversation tomorrow, there might be some updates with what Whimsy does moving forward with other type of donations or charities. I'm trying not to go too spontaneous on it, but it is something that I want to do moving forward. Um, is I would like to be fair, I would like December next year, 2025, to have a very similar story of Whimsy giving back. So um, I'm going to work through it. I'm going to talk to the lady tomorrow. Um, and we're going to see if we can make this a yearly tradition in which we give back a little bit. That's all I've been doing this week. I worked. Uh, awesome weekend. Oh man, I should have put that back on the first one. Uh, Sophie decorated a tree with us yesterday. Liam was hanging out. Um, we decorated Mom's tree. Mom has a broke Mom's tradition. Sorry, she had a tradition of like send everybody home Thanksgiving Friday morning. Boom, the tree's up before like 10. So we made her wait until Sunday, and we decorated it. Uh, she'll never tell me. Uh, you can tell three people, a 44-year-old and a 14-year-old. You could tell that, like we like three different people decorated this thing, so it still looks pretty. I don't know, it was fun, but yeah, we decorated a tree. For the most part, it was a good week. I can't complain. I hope you guys all had good holidays yourself. Ate a bunch, stayed safe, um, enjoyed some. Hopefully, you got some time off. Like that's the best part of the holidays, right? A little bit of extra day off. Um, or if you have to work, hopefully you get that little extra money, that holiday pay. All right. That's all we got for this. For getting to know me. What else we got coming up? I don't know if I have it.
Go check out Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his two kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30 plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today.
What is interesting about that particular ad commercial, right, is like we're watching Whimsy live, right? This is the live show. Nooners, Mind Pockets. What is interesting, in hindsight, now that I think about it, are there people that only know the live show and they don't know the podcast? Like, am I getting podcast downloads because they're like, oh my God, this guy does a podcast? And then they like, one, I'm glad that we have the commercial. but it is interesting to think like it might have been like a huge waste of time. It's like it's one that I would give to like J Sarge and be like, hey, can you put this in somewhere? Um, and promote it somewhere else. Because there's a couple of places um, where I could take that and I can give it to like if I ever do another podcast, I'd be like, hey, have it in there because it has all the info, and then that's something I don't have to talk about on the show necessarily. But yeah, for a second, I just realized I think the logical step is podcast to live stream, but there is a chance the live stream, because in theory, the reach on the live stream is significantly um, further than the podcast. Like, because um, as we do the shows, right? This just shows up in people's feed, and they're like, "Oh, click, click, click." Whereas like the podcast, like I don't know where like Spotify. I don't think there's a random playlist or a shuffle in which it would just randomly show up in people's stuff. But all right, anyway, um, Pocket Watch. What have I been watching this week? Some goods, a lot of bad this week. Um, the first one was In and Out. It was gross. I hated everything about it. Um, I vaguely remember it growing up. I watched all three episodes. This is a huge piece of crap. The uh, the cold case who killed John Benet Ramsey. The story itself very sad. This documentary just absolutely I don't know. It was anybody who experienced it live as it was happening. It was just like a bunch of just drama of the police trying to accuse the parents, and nothing got done. And all this documentary does, it just spends 3.5 hours of just telling how everybody just dropped the ball. Um, Nothing new came out of this thing. Um, I don't know why they needed 3 hours. It was not a good documentary. It spent a bunch of time on number one on Netflix. It was we watch all these true crime things, and there's some kind of resolution. Um, they dive into like the motives of everything else. This was just 3 hours of just trashing the parents and then just trashing the cops. It was a huge waste of time. Nothing good came out of it. Don't watch it. Um, you wanted to be a like. I'm done talking about it. I didn't like it. So um, the the case interests me, but like everybody pointing fingers at everybody else that did not interest me. Don't watch it. There was a stand-up show from Anthony Jeselnik. You see him a lot from the Comedy Central roasts. Um, he's definitely fucking edgy, right? He's got a bunch of like wildly inappropriate jokes, like real triggering. Like if like his show would have a trigger warning on it because he goes into a couple of different places. It was okay. I was hoping for something bigger. Um, like his Comedy Central roast jokes were better and edgier than this hour long show. I don't know if you guys watch any stand up. The Jim Gaffigan one, I'm gonna watch. I think that one looked a little bit better. And then, but I did watch it, and I needed something to fill a slide, so deal with it. What else did I watch? Ben Stiller does this new show on Hulu, Nutcrackers. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I like Ben Stiller, I think, as an actor, but not a lead actor. He was always good as like playing off of somebody. It is technically Christmas themed, but it's I don't know. It's not good. I don't think it did well anywhere. Um, I did watch it though. It was like hour 40. Sister dies, has 4 kids. Uncle comes out into the city and was like, "Oh, I got to figure out what to do with these kids." And then he's like all Grinch. And then at the end, "Oh, I love these kids." Uh, don't add it. Don't add it to your Christmas list. Like it's barely watchable. Um, if you literally have nothing else to do, or traditionally you don't watch a lot of Christmas movies, sure, pick it up. But um, I would say watch Elf for the 150th time instead of this thing. Um, I've never seen Elf, but it has to be better than this thing. It had moments, but it was very like cliched. I don't know. Not it wasn't good to me. It was. I didn't even want to watch it. To be fair, I really didn't. But like, if you were to Google what to watch this weekend streaming, it showed up on every fucking list. Like Ben Stiller has it. No, it's not good. Skip it. Like, I guess what we should do moving forward is like you Google like what should I watch, and then you come on Monday and be like, all right, if Ben says I should watch it, you should watch it. Um, or if he says don't, then don't. So, um, I guess you guys got to stay a week behind on some stuff. So it's not a real plausible fucking fix, I guess. I don't know. It's a fine watch. It's not. You'll never remember it. That's a movie you'll never remember. If I gave you 100 years to list as many Christmas movies as you could, this one won't even make that list. Like that's how unforgettable it was. The Agency is on Showtime, which is also on Paramount Plus, right? I'm happy. There's a show out there. It's a weekly. Um, this is like some hardcore spy stuff, right? That's Fassbender. I don't know the other ones, and that's Richard Gere on the other end. Um, 2 episodes in, a little bit slow, but that's what a lot of your spy thrillers are. They're a little bit slow because you can't reveal too much too fast because you're a spy and you're behind the scenes and you're a double agent. Um, there's enough stuff happening. It's almost worth picking up. Um, it's definitely not like fast paced and fucking shootouts like the Jackal, but there's definitely it's a thinker. It's a thinker show. 2 episodes in, I'm with it. I need something wash the mouth, the taste of Doctor O Odyssey and Reba's show. Like, I don't want to poop on Reba, but somehow she got like 4 more episodes. Like they extended her show, and I don't know why. This show looks fine. Pick this one up. Um, Showtime, Paramount Plus. So interesting things happening. I like it. And then my favorite part of the holidays is the Tom Steve Dave Christmas special. They've been doing this for 12 years? No, 2011? 2011, I think. It's like 12 or 13 years. Every year they record a holiday themed podcast. Some gold in the past. There are a couple of like wonky ones. They sell it on Bandcamp. What was funny about where they started was the obviously like the first 3 years were fucking great. That's where Liam and I get hooked. They release it Black Friday, like right at midnight. Boom, you can buy it on Bandcamp. Whatever money they make on it for this episode, help fund all of the projects for the following year. There were so many people on this podcast. Uh, for nostalgia reasons, I love telling Steve Dave. Boom, I'm listening to it. There was a moment at the 2 hour, 4 minute mark that was worth the price of the whole album. Ming, there's a there's a drama between the guy named Mike who runs the Secret Stash, Walt and Brian who used to work and run the Secret Stash. So there was an ouch somewhere. So Walt and Brian don't really like Mike, right? But Ming Chen from episode 37, 62, Chronicon, Ming Chen does a did a podcast, 300 episodes with Mike. Um, there was just a big falling out about, God, it's got to be 4 years now. Big falling out with everybody. At the 2 hour, 4 minute mark, Ming Chen does an amazing thing to try to start mending relationships. Um, the rest of the games were okay. It wasn't a bad episode. It was like 3.5 hours long. Um, what they're doing this year for this album is all the money that they make from it, they're giving it to the Juarez family. There's a family within like the Tom Steve Dave universe. Um, Something happened. They're taking all the money. They're going to give it to them. So they did it as a kind of like a donation fundraiser type thing for it. So um, it's on the list because it's the one thing I look forward to on Black Friday. They had some cool Black Friday sales on the website. This album is just one of my favorite things. It kind of gets me in the mood for Christmas. It's not Christmas until you can hear the Tell Steve Dave episode. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is it's not really a rabbit hole. This really should have been the coming soon slides. Um, we talked about this last month, right? It is the 2nd of December. We got we got holidays we're thinking about. We got like all the Christmas movies to watch, right? But we're like, what else is there to watch? So once a month, I will look at the schedule. I'm gonna give you guys some highlights of what's coming out in December. So in case you forget, it gets lost in the mix of all the other stuff. But first, okay, Moana 2, Wicked, Gladiator 2. You should probably see them. They've been out for a little while. What is interesting, real quick, why this is in here is um, for the 5 day Thanksgiving weekend, it is the biggest box office like totals they've seen like ever. Like they made like $400 million this weekend because of those three movies. Moana, I think, is the largest Thanksgiving weekend open. Wicked is the largest box office open for a Broadway musical adaptation. And then Gladiator, I hear Denzel Washington's doing some interesting work in the movie. Um, I just thought it was interesting because movie theaters have been struggling, right? But not this weekend, not for the 5 day Thanksgiving weekend. They absolutely dominated. I just thought it was interesting. AMC stock is coming up. AMC stock is one of the meme stocks that you talked about back in like March, April, May ish. Um, it's up like 50% over the last like month, which is interesting. So people are coming back to well, people are not going back to the movies. They just happen to go on this weekend, in which there's probably at least a day off. What else do you do if you don't want to go shopping? You go to the movies. So I just thought it was interesting. Uh, it just gives me hope that AMC is going to do better. All right. So what's coming out this week? Nothing in the theaters. Most of these are all just streaming stuff, which is interesting. Carry On. I was gonna play trailers, but I don't want to try risking breaking anything. I lied. I'm gonna try it. Carry On has the guy from Kingsman, um, Eggert Eggert T. I don't know his name. Sorry. Um, he works at the airport, and Jason Bateman is playing some kind of terrorist, calling him on the phone, and he's gonna go save the day. Um, it's on Netflix. On hold on, so I'll lock it. Let's move this down a little bit. Boom. On the 13th. It seems interesting enough. It's a little actiony. Um, for whatever reason, I kind of do enjoy a nice thriller in one location, right? So, granted, the airport's a very large location, but it's not like all over the place, like globe trotting. I like a nice one spot kind of like thriller drama. Forgot this one was coming out. Dexter Original Sin. Okay, to be fair, this one doesn't even have a good trailer yet. Um, I enjoyed Dexter a lot, and hold on. Anybody who watched Young Sheldon, okay, anybody who watched Young Sheldon, you had the kid that played the younger version of Sheldon Cooper, and then you had the original Sheldon Cooper by Jim Parsons, um, doing like some voiceover work. That's what they're doing here with Dexter. You'll have the younger version of Dexter in the early years of killing people, right? And then you have the original Dexter telling some voiceover work, what he's thinking. Dexter was a fantastic show back when it originally ran. This is a form of a reboot, so hopefully it does well. There's also another Dexter project coming out, Resurrection, which will take place minutes after season 9. So it'll be interesting. There's a lot of Dexter stuff coming out here soon. Hopefully this one does well, because there's a lot of stuff during the original series that they kept referencing growing up wise. Hopefully they hit most of those things. Um, do we like this idea of reboots in the form of prequels? Right. So we spend 6, 7, 8, 9 years with this one program, this universe, right? And then it ends, and then 10 years later, they're like, "We're gonna play younger versions of them now." I like it. I think part of the problem why most people won't is because listen, like if we did it, one, you gotta make sure the casting is good. Two, like your fans, like your hardcores, they're gonna lose their mind if it's not accurate or it's not the way they liked it. So I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, coming out also on the 13th. Um, what else is going on? There's a couple of them here. This one I thought is going to be very interesting. This one is going to, I don't know, I say, okay, so Mr. Beast is the most subscribed YouTuber ever right now, like 300 million subscribers. Talked about him a little bit early on with Liam, um, in the 20s, and Mr. Beast was brought up. Talked about him a little bit too, also, off and on. He started a channel years ago. God, it couldn't have been more than like 12 years ago. It's less than 10 years ago. He started a channel, wasn't doing much. Somehow he got sponsored, and some local sponsor gave him like $5,000, right, for the sponsorship. So his next video, he goes out and just gives away the $5,000. he goes viral. YouTube now through like the monetization, he gets paid more than the 5,000. So from there, he just keeps doing the same thing, um, giving away money. That's where he got his claim to fame. Was just like, let's just give away a bunch of shit. Now, the biggest YouTuber in the world, you see most of his stuff now. He's still giving away money. Hold on, I gotta fix my foot. Okay. Um, if you go back a couple of years, he was doing a lot of really interesting things where he would go to like grocery stores and draw a big circle on the floor and was like, anything you can fit in the circle, I'll give you, I'll buy for you. He's buying houses for like people. He's buying cars. There's just a lot of really good philanthropy going on. Um, I'd say over the last like 4 years, 3 years, he's really getting into this competition thing. Probably Squid Games probably triggered a lot of it too. Is he wants to just pit people against each other. This particular show, I don't, I don't know if it's going to do well. To be fair, um, I don't know. I think this might be one of those shows that we talk about later, and I think it's going to change some of the game show landscape. He's got like a bajillion dollars, so he has 1,000 people. So for 10 episodes, okay, on Amazon Prime, for 10 episodes, he's got these 1,000 people that are going to do all these little tasks and narrow it down to one person to win $5 million. Okay, one, I think that has to be the most money of any other game show ever competition, and then two, this guy as a YouTuber, if you look at watch any of his YouTube videos, watch the one he just put out with Ronaldo. The production value that he puts into these YouTube videos, if he's going to now do this for a Amazon fucking TV like game show, it's going to be bonkers. This is going to be a game show like you've never seen before. It's going to be probably very common to what he does on YouTube, but if you've never seen him, you're not familiar with his work, on the 19th of December, tune into Amazon Prime, watch Beast Games. Um, I think this is going to, I have a feeling, I don't know what it is. It's going to change something in the way that it's going to have an impact. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to be in how we do game shows. I don't know if it's going to be him. Like now that he does this, does he start trying to go into like regular television or streaming? Because this is his first streamer. He's only been YouTube for years. This is his first move into something other than YouTube. I don't think he knows how to fail. He uh, interesting guy. We'll keep an eye on it. When this thing goes well and then things start blowing up, maybe I'll do a rabbit hole and give you guys a little bit more about Mr. Beast. It's gonna be interesting though. There's only two more, I think. Nosferatu originally came out black and white. It was based off of Brad Stroker's novel from 1897. The original came out in 1922. It's a take on Dracula, basically. Okay. Um, the original was pretty good. Then you had Dracula, 1930 something, right? We have his like it looks interesting. Believe that is Lily Rose Depp. That's Johnny Depp's kid. They're doing it. Okay, so Nosferatu back in 1922, silent movie, right? So, supposed like, whatever they were trying to do with horror, right? You jump now 100. Oh my god, that's 100 years. Holy shit, it's 100 years later. They redo it with the because Nosferatu predates Dracula. It's gonna be interesting. It comes out Christmas Day. This one I believe is going to hit the theaters. Um, I'm I'm pointing up the fences on this one. I'm going to say this one should do very well. I hear everybody who's everybody's performances are pretty good. Um, I don't think they're obviously not doing it in black and white, but keep an eye on this one. I look very forward to this one. And then there is one more coming out the day after Christmas, Squid Game season 2. Uh, Either you've watched it or you have no intention to watch it. There's only really two camps with this. Um, During the pandemic, Squid Game came out, and I think was part of the reason why um, of the Asian boom on Netflix. Right? Um, let's see, Thailand, uh, Korea, and some of the other Asian countries. They make grips of fucking television, but we never see most of it. Squid Game kind of helped open those doors to why we start seeing a bunch of dubbed um, Asian shows and movies now in your algorithms. I enjoyed the first season. Like the concept of it was a very novel idea. I enjoyed what they do with it. Season 2 looks a little bit more. Okay, so season 1, right? You're poor. We want to pay all your bills, but you have to play this game. Okay, and then you get there and you find out that when you play the game, if you lose, you're dead. Right, so you got to be the last one standing. Um, but it was mostly based around these different type of games. So each episode was normally a different game, some drama in the sleeping areas, but for the most part, it really just focused on the games. What is the strategy? How are people dying on this stupid game? What is interesting though is from what I see in season 2, I think I think they're dropping the game aspect. Like obviously they're going to still be playing games, but I don't think they're going to focus so much on the games as much. Um, the main character, he's out for like it's good. It's weird. It's like a completely different series. The first series was like, oh, I don't know what to do, but I do need help with money, and he just fumbles his way through it. Season 2 looks like fucking Jack Bauer, who's like, I'm gonna break this game, and he's running around all aggressive and shit. I don't know, but I think it's gonna be fantastic. Um, Holidays, right? Bunch of time off for the holidays. You got Christmas off. You got New Year's coming up. Within the week of Squid Games 2, I think you're gonna hear people losing their mind over it. I will watch it. I don't know if I'll lose my mind over it. I definitely think it's gonna be more story driven and more action driven, whereas it was just game of the week and then the end, a couple of twists and turns. Uh, Most people, if you haven't watched Squid Games, most of you guys probably still won't because you guys don't like dubbing, um, and or you don't like to listen to different languages while you're reading the subtitles. Um, the thing gets to the point. I think we're almost at a point where the majority of okay, the majority of people are already watching. The handful of you that don't like it, I think you're gonna have to get to a point where you have to get over it and learn to get past the dubbing. I think, um, because with the success of the original Squid Games, um, and a bunch of some of these other shows that have come out over the years, I think we're gonna start seeing more of them because all for whatever reason, the only thing we're doing is just making garbage, and the stuff that's decent they're canceling after one season. Um, there are some really good foreign shows and movies out there. And if we just keep going the route that we're going, where we're just making complete garbage, and then they're canceling everything, you might get stuck having to eventually enjoy a decent story, better graphics, just overall premise, you're gonna have to get over the dubbing. That's Ben's hot take for this week. Is I'll let you get through Squid. Like, don't watch Squid Games too. But when things start blowing up again, I'm pointing at the fences on this one. I think you're gonna. I think people are gonna have to get over dubbing. Um, how can we not just make the AIs? Okay, hold on. Let's just end this. No, we're not. Okay. The AI right now can deep fake an actor and make him look 20 years younger, right? AI can also go into a movie and remove all the swear words, right, to make it a certain rating, and then clean it up, or auto tune the voice to make it say something else. How are we not at a point yet where we can use AI to change people's mouth flaps, right? So people don't like foreign movies and TV because the dubbing freaks them out. I don't like to hear the voices with the mouths that don't match, right? Same thing with John Feige, no, uh, Lion King, the live action Lion King, right? Like people didn't like that because like there was no expression, right? We needed expressions, right? So they didn't like it. But I didn't see the new one. But if they can get them to learn to like move their eyebrows, we're gonna get somewhere. Uh, why can AI not fix a foreign mouth flap to match the real words of English? That's what I was trying to get at. Maybe you don't have to get over watching a Korean film or a Chinese game, whatever it is, because hopefully someone's working on fixing mouth flaps. Two hot takes. Get over it, watch them, and deal with it. Or two, write it out until they fix the mouth flaps. Um, I just want to say mouth flaps. That's all I got for the. That's it. We're done. Um, one more ad, some thank yous. We'll get you guys out
Hey
of
there,
here.
Whimsy fans. We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy, or follow the link on our YouTube channel at Chasing the Whimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
Nikki family, Megan's family, Joyce, Ann, Ender, Froggy C1, Gooster, Nina M, Violet, Anna, my dad, and Courtney. Thank you guys for the paid tiers. Appreciate it. It's helping out with web comics, lo-fi videos, merch. I'm making some merch. Um, we did ornaments. This went out last week, so everybody's gotten all of theirs. Nikki painted hers. Gooster, I think, is going to start painting hers. So hope we get more pictures of those. Um, at least sign up for the free. Let's look at some shit. Okay. Like, subscribe to podcast, YouTube. Just engage any way that you can. You don't have to do it with money. If you do, I'll try to, do the $10 tier. You'll get some gifts. Or if you can afford, throw me a couple of bucks. I had something else and I don't anymore. Oh, I guess it would be on the next screen. Thank you, Patreon people. If you're not subscribed, at least sign up for the free. look at it, do the 4, and then move up to the 10 if you, later. Okay, so reminders. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, there should be a like a pop-up live. Okay. Um, Beginning of the show, Whimsy is going to make a nice donation to help. So if you want to know how much it was, who it's going to, what these people are about, where the money's going to, how they're helping these 130 some kids, these 50 families. If you want to know these things, um, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, watch it afterwards if you're working, because I know, again, like 10 o'clock is kind of a weird hour. Watch it, um, find out what we did, and then I don't think I'll announce anything tomorrow, but I am going to commit to doing something similar to it next year. And we'll let you know how you guys can help out, so that way we can donate more. I'll probably put a Patreon. I'll update the Patreon. Nothing more from you guys, but I think I'll use the Patreon to help fund some of those things in the future. So um, we have fun interviews coming up. I'm going to be recording Jay Sarge's um, Jeff and Jeff, their suggested articles podcast. I'm recording that next Sunday. Grandma and I believe, are recording on Saturday. We're going to catch up on part 3 of hers. I have a musician artist uh, coming on Monday, recording with her after the live next week. Um, she's topping the charts in the UK in the dance scene, so she will be with us. So a lot of fun stuff coming up, and a lot of that is because you guys um, are subscribing. You're helping out on the funds if you can. Um, you guys give me the confidence to try some of these different things and talk to these random people. So continue doing that. Show some support wherever you can, and let's see what other crazy things I can do. Um, Tomorrow, 10 o'clock. New good episodes coming up. That's all I got. You guys got to know. You got UK dance fucking topper coming on. Um, Whimsy with the Z. The December episodes are gonna be great because they're with the parents. I'm gonna be on another podcast. I Somehow I'm not slowing down. It's the holidays. I'm like, hey, everybody, calm down, relax, watch some TV, but also watch the lives. Um, Amazon Force magazine, $2.99. You can pick up a Kindle version. We're towards the back, but there's a 2-page article about Chasing the Whimsy. Um, if you want the physical copy, you can also buy the physical copy on Amazon. It's like $20, but um, I think that's all I got for you guys. We're at 110. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all we got. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you. I believe you should see me for Mind Pockets on Saturday. There is a small chance that it gets shifted an hour later, but I doubt it. But we'll see. You guys have a good weekend or good week. Everybody stay safe. Have a good, enjoy the season. Enjoy people. And you guys have a good night. Whimsy. Wrong pause button. This one. Bye.